Before I start this episode, shout out to the Why Not Podcast and A9 On Up Homies channel. Check out their platforms. But welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'ma detail the story of Big Dulow. Dulow was born to Guy Anderson in 1970. He would come up in Inglewood, California. Dulow would become a member of the neighborhood Pirus in his early teenage years, and he would push neighborhood Piru hard. Neighborhood Pirus are an Inglewood gang that formed over 40 years ago. Their neighborhood is centered around Rogers Park, and they have multiple cliques claiming that area, like the 700 block, the 800 block, and the 500 block neighborhood Pirus. The neighborhood Pirus are one of two Piru gangs in Inglewood, the other one being the Avenue Pirus. The neighborhood Pirus would go to war with several Crip gangs in Inglewood, like the Legend Crips and the Raymonds, the Rolling 60 Crips as well, and several other neighborhood Crip gangs, and also Serrano gangs like Inglewood 13, and several more. The neighborhood Pirus would have good relationships with gangs like the Rolling 20 Neighborhood Bloods, the Avenue Pirus, the Queen Street Bloods, and several other Bloods and Pirus. In his teenage years, Dulow would build a reputation with being fearless and pushing hard on his enemies. With him going to jail as a youth, he also got known in jail for also pushing a hard line and being known for fighting and having major heart. Dulow was a leader early on in his life, and he built a big following in the neighborhood Pirus. He taught many other youth in his era and generations after how to move and how to carry themselves. Big Dulow would even influence their dressing, with Dulow's style being the epitome of what a Blood would look like in the 90s. With Crips having so many different sets all over LA County and Bloods being so outnumbered, it was way more common to see Crips G'd up, but Bloods being so outnumbered, seeing Bloods in the same fashion wasn't as common. But Big Dulow would often set the standard. Dulow was known for being flamed up, and he would also be known for taking his crew of younger homies to high schools to step their fighting game up and build their name up in the streets and the neighborhood Piru's reputation. And that would even include going to schools like Crenshaw High to fight Crips like the Rolling 60s. Dulow would even take his crew of homies to malls like Fox Hill to bang on enemies and have several altercations. Dulow's reputation would reign heavy in Inglewood and surrounding areas, but that would lead to numerous attempts on his life and many people trying to kill him, which led to him being shot multiple times, and this will also lead to his name ringing bells for putting in work. Dulow's name will become legendary in Inglewood, with many people having stories of how gangster Dulow was and how he was put known for his set, and this made him have connections and respect with Bloods and Pirus from South Central, Compton, and Inglewood, and even some Crips respected him so much they wouldn't even shoot at him. Dulow was also known for being one of the homies in his hood, checking anybody out of line and rolling with an iron fist. That meant fighting and disciplining anybody who wasn't up to the standards he thought they should be. In the 90s, Dulow would be affiliated with several Inglewood rappers, like Mac 10 from Queen Street, who signed neighborhood Piru rapper Squeak Rue, so Dulow was even starting to be connected in the rap industry, hanging with all type of circles. Dulow's years of banging and terrorizing the streets would finally catch up to him. On July 21st, 2000, at the age of 30 years old, Dulow will be shot and killed. Dulow has been dead over 20 years, but his name still rings bells to this day, and he still spoke of highly with major respect. He's viewed like an urban legend in Inglewood, from how he carried himself, how he looked out for his homies, and put on for his gang. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.